don't draw conclusions, because if you do, you're going to be wrong. You can draw them if you want and just be wrong. I guess you all don't have any consequences
The
for
Uncle
being
Henry
wrong.
Show, live, weekday afternoons at 5 on WNTM.
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
And we're getting word of a crash now eastbound on Highway 90 at the ramp to I-10 in Spanish Fort. That is exit 30. And we have some slowing on I-65 south from 165 to I-10. It's a 5-minute delay due to an accident in the right lane approaching Airport Boulevard. And an accident Schillinger Road at Ziegler Boulevard.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. New at Lowe's, ProBlock Quick Dry Primer. Expertly manufactured by Sherwin-Williams. Engineered for pros to dry fast, lock stains, and go on smooth for virtually flawless results. Available now in oil and water-based. Grab yours today at Lowe's.
The Uncle Henry Show, weekday afternoons from 5 till 7.
The tide rolls again.
This is the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. Thank you so much for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. I really do appreciate it. I really do. Once again, here we are together, me and you, trying to figure out what is going on in the world around us. What is going on? If there's something you want to tell me about, feel free to do so. 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. That's unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. We have so many things, so many topics to get into on the Uncle Henry Show. But before I go any further, I do have to acknowledge once again.
The tide rolls again.
Yes, they do, and yes, they did. What a magnificent. Oh, the Iron Bowl was magnificent. I had no anxiety. I know that perhaps you did. Many of my friends were very worried about the Alabama Crimson Tide going to Jordan-Hare Stadium and taking on the Auburn Tigers, but I was not. I just had no anxiety over it. And Alabama handled them, gave us an exciting finish, made you watch until the end. Wonderful. Just enjoyed it tremendously. Already looking forward to next weekend. Let me get to, real quick, a reaction voicemail that came in right after the game Saturday night. Let me go to 68-year-old Chris of West Loxley.
Roll Tide, Unc. Well, Uncle, I'll tell you, this is one time I have no problem admitting that I was incorrect. I was wrong. But boy, they sure scared the daylight out of me. That's all right. Roll Tide, roll. Got Jimmy the Economist dog next. Bark boy. Roll Tide, roll.
Roll Tide, roll. 68-year-old Chris, thank you very much for your voicemail about the Iron Bowl. Yes, it was a wonderful, just yet another wonderful Alabama victory. For the Alabama fans, what a great lifetime of Alabama victories to enjoy. Now, Buford, longtime caller Buford, he left me numerous messages during the game, and I'm going to get to some of them later this hour. But I want you to know, Buford went to Louisiana and watched the Iron Bowl with his brother's family, and they're all a bunch of LSU fans. And during the game, he said that every time he yelled "Roll Tide," his little brother's dog started barking at him. Here is a sample of Buford getting barked at by the LSU dog.
Hey, this here is Buford. Just want to let you know that my little brother's dog started growling when I yelled, "Roll Tide Roll." So, roll Tide Roll! Roll Tide Roll! Roll Tide Roll! Tanner, me and this LSU dog's about to fight. You have a good day.
I hear that little dog barking. Now, you may be listening to this, you the listener. You may be thinking, well, that's a grown man yelling Roll Tide at a dog. And he's deriving some pleasure from it. And then there's an even older man in Alabama that has a recording of it, that is listening to it and is deriving pleasure from it. Can't we be more mature? Can't we all be more mature about all of this? The answer to that, of course, is no. No! We can't be more mature than that. Look on the bright side. People like me and Buford, we're not on fentanyl. We're not on crack cocaine or anything like that. We're not out into the streets. We're not stealing your gun out of your car in the middle of the night. We're not doing all those horrible things. This is just a wonderful, wholesome thing. It may seem silly to you to get into some type of yelling fight with a dog, but it's better than being a drug addict. It's better than being a thief or a killer. So anyway, Roll Tide Roll. Now, good news though for Auburn fans. Apparently Auburn fans are happy with whoever it is they hired. Somebody Golash. I'll learn how to say it eventually. Goulash. Oh, thank you. Shelby Mitchell of 95 KSJ. She says don't thrust her onto the air, but she is in the studio working diligently on some KSJ stuff. Now, I've got Auburn fans excited to learn about their new coach. Let's listen to this. This is a news story from WSFA in Montgomery. They sent this young lady, a female reporter, to Auburn to ask Auburn fans about their new coach.
After what many are calling a close game, Auburn is announcing its new head football coach, Alex Golesh. Fans tell me they are excited about the transition.
The whole season, we could have done it. We could have won. We really should be a 10-2 team.
All right, now I'm pausing there, not because Shelby Mitchell is doing a pantomime behind me onto the YouTube cameras. Whatever message you want to send to YouTube, send them. Grinch. Okay, you're wearing your Grinch. Okay. Yep. I'll be back. All right, there she goes. Now, where were we? Oh, now think about this. They sent this young lady reporter to Auburn to talk to Auburn fans, and she's asking female Auburn fans their thoughts. Is there anywhere else in the country where women are going to be this big a part of it? Because that's the first person they went to was a female football fan, and she's got this female football fan has a lot of thoughts. The first thing the female football fan says, we ought to be 10-2 by now.
The announcement was made Sunday morning after losing the Iron Bowl. Fans say they are ready for change.
There was some discombobulation with play calling. Okay. And I also feel like he needed to be a little bit tougher all around.
Aide has been an Auburn fan.
This lady has been, again, what a wonderful, we live in a golden time, really, for football fans. Even though their college football seems to need to figure some things out, we may get into that later. There needs to be some new rules implemented on how they do these coaching changes and things like that. But think about the love of football. They got a female reporter reporting on this. You got a woman there in Auburn giving her thoughts, talking about they need to be 10-2 and they're discombobulated.
Since she was 10, she believes former head coach Hugh Freeze had strengths, but says Alex Golesh could be exactly what Auburn needs to turn the corner and bring back that winning edge.
Oh, the coach could be exactly what Auburn needs.
Exactly what Auburn needs to...
Could be exactly what Auburn needs.
He's got a great record at South Florida. He's an offensive mind. And from what I understand, it is our hope that we can keep our defensive coordinator.
All right, see, this would be the best outcome every year. Alabama beats Auburn. Then the Auburn fans they become happy the next day because they're getting a new coach. Maybe we could just repeat this year after year.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
And we're getting word of a crash now eastbound on Highway 90 at the ramp to I-10 in Spanish Fort. That is exit 30. And we have some slowing on I-65 south from 165 to I-10. It's a 5-minute delay due to an accident in the right lane approaching Airport Boulevard. And an accident, Schillinger Road at Ziegler Boulevard.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Shop Lowe's Black Friday deal.
YouTube, if there's anybody watching on YouTube, hello to you. Let me check. Let me look. I do like the illustration. Brent Amaker, local illustrator, illustrated the Alabama Crimson Tide's Big Owl crushing Albee behind me. Isn't that a beautiful thing to see Albee crushed like that? Hello to KP of shirtbutter.com. Chris Cook, the Moon Fairy. Ken DM, whatever you're... Ken, yes, I did see Auburn receivers dropping lots of passes. Excalibur Iron Force, Nelson Dorgan. Thank you, Timmy Watkins. Thank you all for looking in. Richard Harvey. The Henry family. Now, by the way, YouTubers, there is going to be an Uncle Henry gathering this Friday night. This coming Friday night. If you want the details, you'll find the details in the Chums on the Chums page on Facebook. This is an Uncle Henry gathering that I did not plan. Other people did. So look for the I think it's on the Chum page, but I don't know. But there's a gathering Friday night, 6:30 p.m. at South Nutrition on Old Shell Road, if you would like to get together before the end of the year. And let me see. And I just got an email from the University of Alabama Athletics. The subject line on the email, the Tide heads to Atlanta for the SEC Championship. And then the email also has signing day coming Wednesday. Alabama, in the SEC Championship, Alabama will be in the north bench and sideline with the east end zone. Alabama will be the home team in the SEC Championship game. College game day will be there at the game. We're going to be back on the radio here in less than a minute. Uh, 68-year-old Chris, no, I will not be here all week. I will not be here all week. But most of the week.
Fox 10 News Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith for this iHeart Radio station.
This report is sponsored by Brad vs. Everyone podcast.
Dangerous social media trends, media scandals, dumb TikTok boycotts, and more. Keep up with all the online stories mainstream media ignores by listening to the Brad vs. Everyone podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
This is the Uncle Henry Show. It is 5:20. We have news headlines coming up in 10 minutes. Telephone number if you'd like to call into the Uncle Henry Show. 251-479-2723. 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. That's unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Yes, the Iron Bowl, what a wonderful, wonderful Iron Bowl it was and weekend. And as I pointed out at the beginning or at the end of the last segment, it turned out great for both teams. Alabama got the victory, and then Auburn, instead of having to feel defeated and feel badly in the days, weeks, and months to come after losing to Alabama, instead they get a brand new coach so they can feel hopeful. They can feel hopeful. And so this is almost like a win-win, even though one team lost. It's similar to a win-win, even though one team lost. It's wonderful. And again, this would be a nice outcome every year, probably. Again, 251-479-2723 is the telephone number. There's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. I want to thank the elderly couple that let me and my wife watch the Iron Bowl with them. We went to Spanish Fort and ate other people's food. It was wonderful to do that and see the Iron Bowl in Spanish Fort with the elderly. And then another subplot, of course, to all of it was the Lane Kiffin drama, which was just so entertaining for me. So entertaining because I didn't care one way or the other. Didn't matter to me. It didn't matter to me what happened one way or the other. And so it's just a bystander, just quite entertaining to see the Lane Kiffin drama going on. Now, I follow Lane Kiffin on X, on the X app, and I want you to know that throughout all of this last year, he's been posting stuff, just real sweet stuff on X. He posts on social media, Lane Kiffin just posts all this sweet stuff. His father had passed away, and Lane Kiffin was posting rainbows. Every time Lane Kiffin saw a rainbow, he'd take a picture of the rainbow and he'd post it on X. And he would talk about, I see you up there, Dad. It was always about his dad and his dad's spirit and the rainbows and all this kind of stuff. And he would also post all year long, Lane Kiffin posting these aspirational quotes. These different things about having a good, positive day, just positive messages posted by Lane Kiffin on X. And a lot of family stuff, posting fun family stuff on X. Just the image, what I'm trying to convey to you is on social media all year long, I've seen nothing but all this real cuddly, sweet, just such a sweet guy. All these Lane Kiffin sweet posts on social media. Family oriented, loving his family, loving his kids, stuff with his dog, pictures of his dog on just if you didn't know anything else, and all you did was follow Lane Kiffin on social media, you would have thought he was the sweetest guy, the sweetest coach in all of football. such a soft side. It's amazing that he could even get the victories that he's gotten with such a sweetness to him. Is it possible to be so sweet? The sweetness that we saw on social media? And by last night, whatever he was building up, whatever reputation he was trying to build, whatever work he was doing there to construct this image of himself, last night it was all burned down to a crisp. Totally all of it, just months. I'm talking months and months of puppy dogs and rainbows. No exaggeration. Go back and look for yourself. If you don't doubt me. If you're doubting me, go back and look. Months and months of just sweet, soft, nice. And then by last night, my wife didn't know who he was. And this morning when I was leaving for work, she was just saying the meanest things about Lane Kiffin. Never met him. She was just saying the meanest things about Lane Kiffin. All of them rainbows that he was posting, all them puppy dog pictures, all of that for nothing now. He's back to square one once again. And you know what? The none of it will matter if he wins. Hello, caller.
Uncle Henry.
Yes, sir. You are live on the radio.
This is Roland. Thanks for taking my call there.
Yes,
Uncle
sir.
Henry.
Yes, sir.
And congratulations on Alabama's win once again.
Thank you.
That Iron Bowl. I'm an Auburn fan, even though it's the losingest team I've ever saw in my life. But it don't matter what coach they get. If they keep getting hand-me-down boys to play, they don't get quality players. They get the lowest thing on the vine. The lowest thing. Can't even catch a football. We could have got a high school team to play better than that. They need to focus on getting quality players. But guess what?
What?
Nobody that plays football wants to play on a losing team. And you can't blame them boys. They don't want to come play for no team that lose every year. That's my thinking about it. I don't care what coach you get to come catch it. You can call in all the plays you want to. If the players can't execute them, you're still dead in the water. That's my thought for today, Uncle Henry. Roll Tide, roll.
Roland, thank you, and God bless you. Thank you so much for your phone call. And perhaps maybe they'll get some better players along with their new coach, Coach Goulash, or whatever his name is. Hand-me-down players. How about that? Hand-me-down players. You know, in the in the clothing world, you can take your clothes and resell them as consignment. Now, is Auburn are they getting players on consignment? Is that what's going on here? These are players that are on consignment, having been previously purchased by a different school? Don't worry, though. I think they'll be able to recruit some good players at Auburn. Didn't they build like a recording studio at Auburn so that players can record their own albums when they're there? Didn't I remember reading about that?
From the Spring Hill Toyota Traffic Center.
Watch for an accident on Cody Road at Dickens Ferry Road, also at Azalea Road south of Airport Boulevard in Mobile. And watch for an accident being cleared south on I-65 approaching Airport Boulevard. It's a 2-minute delay now from 165 to I-10. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Lisa Paquet.
This report is sponsored by Beau Rivage. Don McClain brings his time.
YouTube viewers are going to listen to the news headlines. I have not previewed the news headlines. I do not know what the Fox 10 news headlines will be.
Traffic trouble? Call the Acadian Windows traffic tip line at pound 250, keyword total traffic when prompted. Acadian Windows, your hurricane protection specialists.
Hello, I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News. A flight instructor and student who were on board a small plane and crashed in a Lake Pontchartrain have now been identified. The owner of Apollo Flight Training and Aircraft Management identified 30-year-old Taylor Dickey as the instructor. The U.S. Navy identified Lieutenant David John as the student. Both are presumed dead after the crash, even though their bodies have not been recovered. The U.S. Navy says Lieutenant John was stationed in Gulfport. Mobile police say Joseph Hart was arrested Saturday after he tried to steal close to the Walmart on the I-65 service road. Investigators say he earned a robbery charge when he threatened store employees with 2 baseball bats. The 22-year-old homeless man is being held at Metro Jail on charges of robbery and resisting arrest. Police say they discovered Hart went into the business, took clothes into a changing room, and put them on before walking back through the store. When a store employee went up to him, police say Hart grabbed 2 baseball bats and started threatening the employee. We're told he was detained after leaving the store. Well, Fish River Christmas Tree Farm is welcoming customers as another year of tradition starts. The farm has provided live Christmas trees for decades. Its busiest day was the day after Thanksgiving. And we're told 2 out of every 3 customers are returning customers. I'm Cameron Taylor with Fox 10 News on this iHeart radio station.
The Iron Bowl belongs to Alabama, but now the Crimson Tide has to look to win again this weekend against the Bulldogs. Here's head coach Kalen DeBoer.
I'm interested to really see what our team does here moving forward. You know, playing with kind of a spirit about them. They've just really, even this celebration in here. I mean, it's exciting, but it's very business-like. It's very, they're kind of stuck in this mode where it's like, okay, we got another one. We got to go do it again.
Alabama headed to the SEC championship game where the Tide has to knock off Georgia for the 2nd time this season. Meanwhile, big news on the Plains as Auburn has hired another head football coach, South Florida's Alex Golesh. Some fans tell WBRC the Tigers should have won more games this season, but they are hopeful.
The whole season, we could have done it. We could have won. We really should be a 10-2 team.
I think this one, from what I've heard, he might be a lot better than Hugh Freeze. I think he'll be good for us next season.
I'm Leah Brandon.
This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. The Washington Post is reporting that Secretary of War Pete Hegseth gave a verbal order to carry out a second strike on an alleged drug boat in the Caribbean after the people aboard it survived the first strike. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says such action is illegal and erodes the reputation of America and the Republican Party.
We have real evidence that extrajudicial killings are taking place. That's the stain on America's leadership in the free world.
Secretary Hegseth and President Trump deny the reports. The president saying the drugs were visible. On Sunday, former Ole Miss head football coach Lane Kiffin announced he'll be joining the LSU Tigers on a 7-year deal. Coach Kiffin talking about his time at Ole Miss.
We tried every single thing possible to continue to coach the team through the playoffs and to continue to coach the players. In the end, that was their decision.
America's listening to Fox News.
Now, how did that story get big enough to get in the 1-minute Fox update? Lane Kiffin going to LSU. All right, well. Hello to Tarzan, Pat Nelly. Good to see you. Thank you for watching on YouTube. 68-year-old Moon Fairy. I will be out this week. I'm taking some vacation. And I'm going to be out Thursday and Friday. And then Monday of next week, I'm going out of town. Going out of town. And I'll tell you all about it when I get back. But Pat Nelly, I would love for you to do the show. But I'm not going out of town until the weekend. I'll be Friday at the gathering that's happening Friday night with the chums. Back on the radio here in less than a minute.
eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay.
All right. I've had it with medicine commercials. I really have. I've had it with medicine commercials.
That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
The Uncle Henry Show continues here on News Radio 710 WNTM. It is 5:35. You can also hear me on FM radio. I'm on 95 KSJ playing today's hottest country. Every weekday, Monday through Friday from 10 to 2. Tomorrow on 95 KSJ, I'll be giving away a pair of tickets to see Hank Williams Jr. Hank Williams Jr. coming back to the Gulf Coast to do a concert. Hank Jr. is going to be at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum in Biloxi for Valentine's Day. Yes, what a memorable Valentine's Day to take your sweetheart to see Hank Williams Jr. in concert on Valentine's Day. Again, that's going to be at Mississippi Coast Coliseum. Tickets go on sale Friday through Ticketmaster. I'll have your chance to win a pair of tickets tomorrow on 95 KSJ at about 11:15. So if you tune in to 95 KSJ tomorrow at 11:15 in the morning, I'll be giving away tickets to see Hank Williams Jr. at the Mississippi Coast Coliseum in Biloxi. Telephone number here to reach the Uncle Henry Show, 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, unclehenry@iheartmedia.com. Now, before I get back possibly to the Iron Bowl or on to other topics, I do want to say that I hope you had a good, satisfying Thanksgiving. And I guess that would mean different things to different people. I certainly had a great Thanksgiving because I got to see a lot of loved ones that are still around. My own minor complaint. Yes, I've got a complaint. My one minor complaint about Thanksgiving this year was that the food was mostly cold. And there was a reason. There was a reason the food was mostly cold. We had all the food ready to go. And then it came time to bless the food. And we had somebody suggested that everybody go around, everybody at the gathering, talk about what they're thankful for. Now, this is generally a great idea. In fact, it's a great idea on a daily basis for all of us. And I'm not going to tell you what to do because you're you. But generally speaking, gratitude can help. If you can think of some things to be grateful for every day, it's good for your mental health, even if it's basics. Like, for example, I'm very glad and very thankful that my employer provides me with all the coffee I can drink when I show up to work. We also have HVAC, heating and air conditioning here. I mean, just hear that. The blessings are piling up. Anyway, I'm in favor of counting your blessings. But there we are. The food is ready to go. Just out of the oven. We're ready to go. But somebody, when it's time to bless the food at the family gathering, say, I think we should all say what we're thankful for. Well, at this particular family gathering, we were blessed to have a 95-year-old. We had an 85-year-old. I think we had a couple of 81 or 82-year-olds. We had some 78-year-olds. And I tell you, when people get to be that age, if you're not already that age, when you get to be that age, you have some very specific things that you're thankful for. And sometimes you would like to give a dissertation on why you're thankful for it. So anyway, this took, I don't know, later that day, I think I could have told time with a sundial during that particular blessing, just watching the shadows moving across the Thanksgiving dinner table. Anyway, it was wonderful to be around everybody, but the food got cold. But it was still delicious. And hats off to all the cooks that put all that wonderful food together on the table for all the elderly, like me. Also, we had a shock dish. We had a side dish that appeared for the first time ever at the Thanksgiving meal. This was imagine the shock waves that just reverberated among the people that were over the age of 85. First time ever. A younger relative, somebody in their early 50s, decided to experiment and bring Watergate salad. Yes, Watergate salad was brought to the Thanksgiving meal. And this was really, there was a lot of muttering. There were things said in half whispers. I don't even know what the consensus was, because the consensus wanted to be down below earshot. So it was I could just tell people were muttering about this. But anyway, it was quite a shock, Watergate salad showing up at the Thanksgiving. But it was a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving too. 251-479-2723, the telephone number here on the Uncle Henry Show. Now, earlier in the hour, I shared a brief message from longtime caller Buford. He called and told me that he was watching the Alabama-Auburn game, the Iron Bowl, in Baton Rouge with his brother, who has raised a family of LSU fans.
Henry, this here is different. Well, Henry, Alabama and Auburn's about to kick off, and I am watching it in Baton Rouge. Henry, the Buford children are spending the weekend with their LSU cousins. Looks like LSU's about to lose, but Henry, this is a good opportunity for the Buford children to be superior in front of their LSU cousins humbly, and like Nick Saban, to follow his lead. Just walk with an air of confidence, and everyone will know you're superior. Henry, I'm not going to lie. This Auburn and Alabama game has got me a little worried, especially having to watch it at my little brother's house, the doctor, in Baton Rouge, in the heart of LSU country.
Oh, now your brother is a doctor, and he's in Baton Rouge. Is his specialty diabetes?
Man, it's going to be an uncomfortable stay if the unthinkable happens. Anyway, Henry, roll, Tide, roll.
Roll, Tide, roll. Buford, thank you for letting me know that you were watching the game with your brother, the doctor, and his LSU children. Now, Buford did give me some updates.
Henry, just watched the first series with Auburn with the ball. I feel a little bit better about this here game tonight. It does look like the little children in the trailer parks might be safe tonight. But I tell you what, Henry, Auburn came out in that first series with the ball. Straight booty hole, no cheeks, Henry. It's like they don't even have an offensive line. Let's hope they keep playing that way. Anyway, Henry, you have a good day.
Now, Buford, you mentioned that Auburn didn't look good in the first series, and you said it looks like the little children in the trailer parks might be safe tonight. Now, I don't understand that. What does that mean?
Henry, in case you're wondering why I mentioned little children in the trailer parks, I got a buddy of mine that's a Mobile policeman. He's just convinced that domestics go up when Alabama loses, especially when Alabama loses an Iron Bowl. A lot of little children and single moms become punching bags for the drunk boyfriends when Alabama loses. Henry, let's say a little prayer for them folks that Alabama pulls through tonight. And Henry, I apologize for my salty language, but it is the Iron Bowl.
All right, well, I hate to hear that. And I hope that's not true about the domestics going up. Thank you for the voicemail. Back with more Uncle Henry Show after the break.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
In Mobile, watch for an accident, Shelton Beach Road at Bear Fork Road, and also Azalea Road just south of Airport Boulevard. Also, watch for an accident in Milton with road blockage, Highway 87 at Foxglove Road. I'm Lisa Baque. Follow us on X.
YouTube viewers, thank you for looking. Let me check and see if I have viewers on YouTube still. And I do. Bama Big Man. Pat Nelly, Drake White. Yes, Drake White. Going to be at Soul Kitchen Thursday, December 11th. Drake White in concert. Alabama's own Drake White. I will be going to that concert. We are presenting him. Is Ben Griffin looking? All right, let's see. What can I tell you about while waiting to go back on the radio? Let me look in the weird news file. Those are my favorite stories. Scientists claim that we are not. They say they figured out we're not living in a computer simulation. Are you relieved? According to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, they've come out with a list of the cities in the United States that would go down first if World War III ever started and there was a nuclear conflict. According to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, the first city that would be hit would be Washington, D.C. Number 2 would be New York. This is according to atomic scientists, allegedly. Number 3 would be Los Angeles. Number 4 would be San Francisco. Number 5 would be Houston because of the energy infrastructure. San Francisco's number 4 on the list because of the tech sector. Chicago would be 6. Seattle would be number 7, again because of tech and the port there. Atlanta would be 8. Miami would be 9, and Philadelphia would be 10. Yes, we're getting World War III weird news. Now, also, you may have already seen this story. There is a Russian company that has started experimenting on pigeons, allegedly putting brain implants in the pigeons that let them be controlled like drones. And they want to use them to spy pigeons. See, I feel bad. I do. I feel bad for the birds. I wish if they're going to have to do it, if they're going to have to take an animal and mess with it like this to spy on us, use roaches, Nobody will care if you experiment on a roach.
Thanksgiving, a national holiday. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. This is News Radio 710, WNTM, an iHeartRadio station.
It is 5:50 here at News Radio 710 WNTM. And also, it's 5:50 in many other locations. Telephone number 251-479-2723. We have news headlines coming your way in 10 minutes. There was a news item I wanted to briefly mention to you that Lagniappe is reporting. Lagniappemobile.com is the website. They're reporting that the Gaffer's department store building in downtown Mobile, there on Bienville Square, that building is now under contract. Now, there's no official word on what the building might be used for. If it is getting purchased by somebody, but Lagniappe says that it's rumored that it could reopen as a hotel. But glad to hear that the Gaffer's department store building in downtown Mobile is under contract. And like a lot of people, I'm curious to find out what would somebody do with it. And a hotel does sound like a better idea than the last idea that was floated, where they wanted to have some type of low-income housing or something like that in there. So a hotel possibly going in there in that Gaffer's building. Again, if you want to find out more, Lagniappemobile.com is the website. Say again, the telephone number here, 251-479-2723. That's 251-479-2723. Email address, Uncle Henry at iHeartMedia.com. I had a couple of phone calls in the last segment of the show from Buford. He went and watched the Alabama-Auburn Iron Bowl with his brother, who is a doctor in Baton Rouge. Watch him with the LSU fans in Baton Rouge. Here is one more call from Buford from during the Iron Bowl.
Anna, this here's Buford. Well, Alabama done scored again. We got ourselves some breathing room. And Hannah, just to show that my little brother, the doctor, is not a sour host. Even though LSU lost, he went out and got everybody drive-through daiquiris.
Right, his brother went out and got everybody drive-through daiquiris. This is something I'm guessing not legal in the state of Alabama, right? To get a daiquiri through a drive-through.
I tell you what, it might have been to drown his own sorrows, but he put the bill and got everybody one. You can't argue with that. You know, say what you will about LSU, but Louisiana as a state, they got some great stuff, great food.
Again, I'm asking Buford, your brother has relocated. He's a doctor. He's not come home here. He's there in Baton Rouge. Is he a diabetes specialist? Because I'm thinking Louisiana. In the last several years, they have overtaken Alabama in terms of obesity and all these other things. Is he there for diabetes specialties, or maybe is he a heart surgeon or something?
They got drive-through daiquiri shops. I tell you what, Henry, ain't a bad place, really. But anyway, Henry, Buford Jr. wanted me to let you know that he believes Alabama will whip Auburn by 40.
All right, okay. Well, it didn't happen like that. But it's still, Alabama still won. Buford, thanks for the voicemails. I appreciate those voicemails. Voicemail number 251-216-1976, 251-216-1976. I did note that when Alabama scored toward the end of the game to go ahead of Auburn, the ABC TV people, they had people in the crowd. They had Auburn fans in the crowd that they were ready to put on TV to show their reaction. And I was taken aback. I shouldn't be, but they had this attractive young Auburn lady in the crowd who was upset that Alabama scored the touchdown. They went to this woman. I had trouble counting the number of different rings and things she had in her nose. Now, is this becoming a new trend again? Is this becoming a trend again, where women are putting a lot of different things in their nose? Because it did, no offense to her, she was a nice-looking young lady, but it was quite distracting. And I thought, I didn't even look at the score at first. I thought, oh, that poor Auburn lady, what did she get stuck in her head? It might have been stuck in her head, but she put it there on her own. Anyway, is that a new trend? I hope not, because I'll be taken aback more and more often. I don't want to be taken aback as I'm walking down the street and then run into a light pole or something. There's more to come. The Uncle Henry Show continues, but first, news headlines from Fox. If you want to listen to previous shows, you'll find that junk available as a podcast on the iHeartRadio app. Look for Uncle Henry Show on the iHeartRadio app or at newsradio710.com.
I'm Chad.
YouTube viewers, thank you for looking. I'll be back tomorrow at the regular time. Have a wonderful rest of your day and a pleasant tomorrow.
Signatures. Only 2 discharge petitions were successful in the House between 2001 and 2023. But since House Speaker Mike Johnson took office, rank-and-file lawmakers managed 5 times to circumvent Johnson's wishes and forcing votes on legislation which he blocked. That's how the House approved the resolution forcing the release of the Epstein files. Republican Florida Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna scored a big win, going around the Speaker to implement remote voting for expectant mothers or those with newborns, although the sides worked out a different compromise later. Johnson is now facing several new efforts to go around him. That includes banning member stock trading, sanctioning Russia, and extending health care subsidies, which are set to expire at the end of the year. The GOP's slim majority is an obvious contributor to the burgeoning popularity of the discharge petition maneuver. With the Speaker's lobby, Chad Pergram.